Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We may have reached the light at the end of what's been a long tunnel called winter. Conditions are improving, but we're still dealing with fallout from what Old Man Winter delivered yesterday and today.
As you plan for tomorrow morning, let's find out what's going on outside right now. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero joins us live with the latest. Joshua?
Mike and Andrew, one of the casualties from Old Man Winter is that the interstates remain closed. We were told earlier today that the interstates will not reopen until at least tomorrow morning. So that means that those planning to travel out here for work, it should be clear by then. But another issue that we've come across, we learned, is that snowplows are finally out in the streets and adding pulling water to the list of winter hassles in the Red River Valley. Now, in Fargo, several plows were diverted from street cleaning to drain clearing. Some drains are frozen over while others are covered with so much snow. Fargo Public Works says there's not much homeowners can do and that they're getting to them as quickly as possible. They say that they're not concerned that the street flooding will impact homes. For drivers, keep in mind that the flooding also covers potholes. Be careful and go slowly through the water to avoid hitting a hole hard. Again, stick with us at valleynewslive.com. We'll continue to update when the interstates open, again, on our website. Reporting live along Interstate 29 North in Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Joshua. Keep in mind, if you're caught driving on a closed road in North Dakota, you could be fined up to $250. In Minnesota, the fine jumps to $1,000 and possible jail time.
It was sure nice to hear Hutch talking earlier tonight about improving conditions. That'll give us a chance, if they come to fruition, to dig out and get rid of some of that burdensome snow and ice. Hutch, what's happening right now in the valley?
Things are quieting down in a big way across the region, and Fargo not hit as bad as our neighbors to the north and to the west, where mountains of snow and drifts have continued to basically shut down traffic throughout the day. A 24-hour radar loop shows things are finally quieting down, even the gusty nature of the wind settling down. So many pictures. Thanks to all our viewers out there. Tony sending this Milner driveway in. Oofta. That's all you can say to that. Here's some drifts as well up north near Findlay, North Dakota. Very well sculpted by our winds that gusted very high today. Some ice in the FM area. Maybe we'll be sliding into spring. Tonight, temperatures in the teens to around 20 degrees. The wind will continue to die down. By the way, all blizzard warnings, winter weather advisories dropped or canceled for the rest of the night. So enjoy the quiet, and I'll have your forecast in a minute.
Look forward to that. Thanks.
That forecast is something we have been waiting to hear for months. We've all been through the snow, the cold temps, blizzards, shoveling, dangerous roads, and more. Just the thought of warmer temps without worrying about a winter storm brings a smile to everyone's face.
People are saying that March wants to be better than February. No, it's March. I don't expect it to be that bad.
But yeah, I know we were all kind of bracing for Armageddon.
This morning there was a lot of water on the streets and that, but this afternoon it seems to be they found their way to a drain, so the streets are getting pretty dry.
For the record, spring officially begins March 20th. That's next Wednesday.
There's concern tonight about the stability of a building in West Fargo. Strong winds caused further damage to its roof today. Sunday, snow buildup caused part of the roof of the R.J. Corman building to collapse. Today, the wind finished the job. West Fargo Fire Chief Dan Fuller says there were several people inside at the time. All were able to get out unharmed before fire crews showed up. There's concern that portions of the roof will continue to rip off and land on nearby businesses and possibly even Main Avenue.
The cold advisory issued by the National Weather Service is forcing ranchers to take extra steps in prepping their newborn livestock. Ranchers across the state are all saying this winter has been brutal, especially for calving season. Rancher Mike Mosier says he's losing sleep due to the constant care that livestock need in weather like this. He says he's been preparing for the cold by gathering extra feed and bedding, but he says the strong wind combined with wet, heavy snow causes it to stick on cattle, also causing large snow piles that make it difficult to get across his land.
Can't get any gates open yet, so we're just climb over gates and corrals to get into the cows.
Tonight, Mosier says the best thing he can do for his cattle is get them the extra bedding to stay warm.
A woman was rescued from her vehicle after it rolled on Interstate 35 southbound near Forest Lake, Minnesota, and landed in standing water last night. Troopers rescued the 22-year-old after she lost control of her vehicle on I-35 and County Road 8 in Wyoming, Minnesota. The vehicle landed upside down, 2 feet of standing water. 2 troopers and a bystander cut the woman's seatbelt and pulled her out. A trooper did CPR and revived her, continuing life-saving measures as she went in and out of consciousness.
It was definitely a relief that she was there. Obviously, the fight was still on to make sure that she continued breathing on her own so that we didn't have to continue to do chest compressions. But once she started breathing on her own and she spit up water, it was definitely a relief.
The woman was taken to a nearby hospital where she regained full consciousness. Today, after being treated, she was released.
And on Capitol Hill today, a rare act of defiance from the Republican-led Senate, voting to undo President Trump's declaration of a national emergency along the Mexican border.
12 Republicans joined Democrats in the 59-41 rebuke of the president's plan to use emergency powers to fund a border wall, ratcheting up a power struggle over the control of government's purse strings. Allie Jackson has late details.
If not, the yeas are 59.
A Republican rebellion tonight and an embarrassing blow to President Trump on his signature issue. 12 senators in his own party joining with Democrats to try to block the national emergency he declared to get more money for the border wall he wants.
The joint resolution is passed.
For Republicans, it's about reining in unfettered presidential power and swinging the pendulum back toward Congress.
It's a question about the balance of power that is core to our Constitution. This is not about the president or about border security.
No president's ever used what's called the National Emergencies Act in this way.
I think that we can be very supportive of border security and the president's priorities without ceding our authorities under the Constitution.
Still, for all the talk, there's no teeth since the resolution set to die on the president's desk with a, as he put it, veto. For the first time ever, President Trump will be forced to use that power to kill something Congress wants, since there aren't enough votes to override him.
It doesn't matter. I'll probably have to veto, and it's not going to be overturned, and we're going to have our whole thing.
The president also previewing a 2020 strategy, fire up his base by arguing he's fighting the establishment on border security.
And I think it's going to be a great election issue.
President Trump has more than a week to formally veto the measure after Congress sends it to the White House.
North Dakota lawmakers are picking up the environmental argument over the banning of plastic bags and straws. A House bill would prevent a ban or a tax on what are called auxiliary containers. Minot is considering a 5-cent bag tax, and some say forbidding steps like that would complicate dealings between local and state government.
It's not a one-size-fits-all, but I think most often that we would resort to it's a local issue, let them take care of it.
Farmers and hunters can occasionally be at odds. A North Dakota Senate bill dealing with hunting on private land is trying to ease tensions. It would treat private land as open to hunters unless landowners have posted signs or used an app to close off their land. It would also create a hunting access advisory group and use a database as another way to show whether the land is open to hunting.
I don't like the idea of landowners willingly putting their land for the whole world to see, as well as their contact information. Basically, land that is unposted now, people have to go out and find it to be able to hunt it.
We love that tradition in North Dakota. We want to preserve that tradition. But we feel if we don't do something like this, that tradition is in jeopardy by people posting their land and just absolutely letting no hunting happen. And we're seeing more and more of that.
North Dakota's Republican-led legislature has passed a resolution urging Congress to follow the state's lead and ban abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Senators passed the House resolution on Thursday. North Dakota passed a law in 2013 that outlaws abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy based on the disputed premise that a fetus can feel pain by then. The Red River Clinic in Fargo is the state's sole abortion clinic. Officials at the clinic say the ban is unconstitutional, but it does not apply to North Dakota because no abortions are performed at the clinic after 16 weeks.
Sunday's a big day for Bison fans. A watch party is planned to help celebrate the men's basketball team making it to the big dance. NDSU is hosting an NCAA tournament selection show inside the Shields Center on Sunday. The event is free and it's open to the public. You can meet the men's basketball team, take pictures with them and the Summit League Championship trophy, get autographs, and hear from Coach Richmond. Now, the doors open at 4 in the afternoon. The matchups for the 68-team field will be announced an hour later, starting at 5. The Bison will be making their 4th NCAA tournament appearance overall, their 3rd trip to the Big Dance in the past 6 seasons.